On the Clinton side of the equation, trust is still an issue. That was obvious by the very first question posed to Clinton at CNN's town hall.
I've heard from quite a few people my age that they think you're dishonest.
I've been on the front lines of change and progress since I was your age. I have been fighting to give kids and women and the people who are left out and left behind a chance to make the most out of their own lives.
With me now, Bernard Whitman. He's a Democratic strategist and branding expert. He's also a former Bill Clinton pollster. Thanks for being here, Bernard.
Thanks for having me, Carol.
Okay, so Hillary Clinton's argument or answer to that young man, it perhaps appealed more to older voters because it appeared she was saying something like, hey, you young whippersnapper, take a look back at all I've done. I don't think that will resonate with those younger voters that Hillary Clinton wants.
Here's why I actually think it will resonate. I thought Hillary Clinton killed it last night. Why? She was powerful, she was passionate, she was principled, she was clearly prepared, and most importantly, she was presidential. And if you look at that stage and the Republican stage, she is the only candidate out there today that could actually be ready to take office on day one. If you compare her...
Going back to that trust issue and that young man, like how do you make young voters see your past history without sounding patronizing?
No, I think that's a fair point. I think she has to continue to make clear that she has been on the front lines of the fight, working together, reaching across the aisle, being in the trenches. I mean, she was their Secretary of State. She helped broker the Iran sanctions to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon. She brokered a ceasefire in Gaza. She worked across the aisle with people like Tom DeLay.
That's not where the trust issue comes in. The trust issue comes in, in fact, this young man's question centered around the email controversy, right? And her answer to that was, the Republicans, they throw things at me and I'm still standing. But that's not really an answer.
I absolutely think it is. She has been beaten up in the press by the Republicans for 35 years. And it stands to reason, if you put your neck out, and you stand for...
I did that. I mean, wouldn't that be a better answer?
Well, I think she has apologized. She said, look, it was a mistake. And in my mind, she would have been far better served if she had come out early on and said, you know what? I did it for convenience, which he said last night to Chris Cuomo. I wish I had said that earlier. It was stupid. It was dumb. I apologize. She did do that. But the fact is, most voters, particularly on the Democrat side, care about bringing this country together, moving it forward. What are we going to do to defeat ISIS? How are we going to evolve Obamacare? I mean, she was literally on the front lines of fighting for health care for all Americans 25 years ago. It used to be called Hillary Care before it was Obamacare. She has the clear record.
I remember.
She is the one actually who can bring this country together. And if you look at the Republican side, and even Bernie Sanders, God bless him, I love his philosophy, but his solutions are big government, tax and spend, sock the rich, blame corporations. These are old school, backward-looking policies that have been tried and failed.
Let's focus on the blame corporations because Bernie Sanders' talk on Wall Street really resonates, especially among young people, right? Clinton's ties with Wall Street upsets many Democrats. According to the New York Times, Mrs. Clinton has received $3 million in paid speeches and $17 million in campaign contributions over the years. So how can she fight Wall Street and how can she bring an end to income inequality?
I think the fact of the matter is we need a market economy to push our nation forward. Having said that, we need proper oversight, we need proper regulation, we need someone with experience that can bring the proper oversight. But to simply engage in class warfare, to pillory corporations, that would send a chilling effect in the economy. It would actually cost jobs because corporations would pull back from investing, innovation would decline, and people would be thrown out of work. I think Hillary Clinton understands that you need oversight, you need guidance, you need regulation, but you can't simply engage in a populist class warfare.
Huge speaking fees from Wall Street.
I don't think it's any... Look, this is a woman who's given her entire career to public service. The fact that in the few years that she was out of public service, she gave speeches and made money, I think that that's fine. I think most Americans say, you know what, if you can use your expertise and you have a voice and you can go out and be paid for it, there's nothing wrong with that. She's fully disclosed all of her speaking fees. She's fully disclosed the money she's made. I don't think there's any conflict of interest at all.
So if Hillary Clinton loses Iowa, do you think that is possible, right?
It's absolutely possible.
Because
but
Bernie
look,
Sanders is doing very well.
Don't forget, the country is littered with past presidents who lost Iowa. The fact if she loses Iowa, that would be unfortunate, but we go on quickly to New Hampshire, to South Carolina, to Nevada, and as your poll in Minnesota pointed out, she is ahead not only in most of the states that come after Iowa and New Hampshire, but nationally she's got a huge margin. So I think that the real fact is Hillary Clinton will be the Democratic nominee. The question is, who is best positioned, in fact, to ensure that we don't get a President Donald Trump or President Ted Cruz?
Bernard Whitman, thanks for stopping
Carol.
by. I appreciate it.